we can begin. Let me just... there we go. Sorry about the sack on your head. Give me a minute to go over my notes here. Who am I? We'll get to that. I think the more interesting question is, who are you? Why have you been following me the last 3 days? Do you know where you are? No? Good. That's good. That is good. I was not looking forward to what would come next if the answer was yes. Just add some more to my notes here. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We're going to get around to them, but first, I need to make sure that I swept all the bugs off from you. Bugs. Tracing devices, not insects. Certainly hope you didn't bring any of those in here either. Can't really be helped in this place, so. Sorry about the mess. Had to fire my maid. Found out she was working for the NSA. Had to fire her right out of a cannon into the sun. In this profession, you want to keep your bag of tools very close. Just need one tool for now. Made in China. Keep your tools clean. I swear. Number of hours I spend maintaining these tools probably exceed the amount of time I actually use them. Oh, this? Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to be performing any experimental dental procedures on you. I gave up that profession a long time ago. After that silly malpractice and, well, Just wasn't my calling, I guess. Some people never find out what their calling is. They walk around their whole life in a miasma of pre-programmed pop culture bullshit. This romanticized ideal of the American dream. Never really discover what their calling is. They let Hollywood and mainstream media and false patriotic propaganda decide what their dreams are for them. But you're not like that, are you? Otherwise, how could you have found me? Very clever. How'd you break my cipher? Easy, huh? Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, you've got some blood on your face. Let me get that. Yeah. You ran into my fist pretty hard back there. Sorry about that. Should be more careful who you sneak up on. The dark alleyway. Just remember, in this tradecraft, there's always somebody out there who's faster than you, smarter than you, with better equipment, more experience. Or maybe they're just younger. That happens to all of us eventually, and we become old men, obsolete in our own profession. Kind of like those cheap Chinese radios that they make. Those touchscreen phones made by slave labor. Pennies on the dollar. And they can turn around and sell them to us for $300 to $600 a piece. Make a mean mint process. And then they break down in a year or two, so you have to buy the newest iteration when it inevitably comes out, and they had a couple bells and whistles to it, but ultimately what do you get? You get a cell phone. I can remember when if you wanted to call somebody, you had to pick up the phone attached to the wall and dial in the numbers on these weird little contraptions called buttons. And you had to hope that whoever you were trying to contact was home. Because if they weren't, you weren't getting a hold of them. Speaking of phones, old school flip phone. This is a secure phone here. Yours, on the other hand, one of those new fancy smartphones. Rugged design, military. Still very traceable. Oh, don't worry, the police aren't coming. They don't know you're here. No one does. Well, except for us two, but you have no idea where you are, and I'm not telling. Where did I put my thumb screws? Let's see here. I am sorry about this, but I'm going to have to open up the lining of your jacket. Apologies. Cardigan. Brand name. Fancy. You really do have a lot to learn about tradecraft, my friend. Never wear brand name. Makes you stand out in the crowd. Elicits a stimulus. Vigilant observer such as myself. The trick to being a gray man is to blend in. Be as bland as possible. Don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. Oh, this is handy. Carbon fiber handcuff key. Nifty. Police would not have picked this up with a metal detector. Oh, don't worry, I'll give it back. You're not exactly instilling a lot of confidence in me that you're not a Fed, though. Let's check that phone. No service. Better not be any service. Took me almost 2 weeks to get the copper insulation on these walls. Built myself a little, A 600 square foot Faraday cage is no small feat. Good to know I didn't miss any nooks or crannies. Battery cage is empty. Contact list is empty, that's good. GPS is off. You have a missed phone call. Shall we listen to the message? Let's listen to the message. I'm dying to hear it.
Bookman, I have the files that you were asking for. I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything on the doctor, but that patient you mentioned, 216-04, I hit a firewall and I think I got burned, man. I can't send any more messages after this. I left the shit at the dead drop. You know where it is. This is my last one, man. I can't do any more. I can't do any more. I think they're on to me. I got it.
Interesting. Bookman. It's your code name, isn't it? Bookman. It's an interesting code name. I know it's not your real name. Obviously. So you're after the doctor. Who do you work for? Yourself, right. We'll see. See what other goodies are on this phone. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more lighting. You're not the first person that's walked through this door. Well, I guess you didn't walk through the door, you were sort of dragged through it, but you get my meaning. You're not the first person to come here looking for the doctor. You are, however, the first that has drawn the connection with patient 2016-04. And that can only mean that you've heard the recordings. Haven't you? What do we have here? Bobby pin. And the battery. Oh, don't worry about that. That was just my landlady. She's as deaf as a doorknob, so don't even bother. Just got all kinds of goodies hidden in this thing. That SD card is not designed for this phone. There's no way you'd be able to use it with this device, but you hid it in here anyways. And I'm willing to bet you've got a boot nuke on it to fry your motherboard. Am I right? Yeah, don't worry, I won't be plugging it into anything important. Just in case. Store that for later. Who do I work for? Oh, now you're asking the right questions. But you, I'm not so sure of. Tell me. What would you do if you found this doctor? What would that achieve? The truth. You want to know the truth? Truth is, most people, they say they want the truth, when in actuality what they want is closure. They want peace of mind, but so often the truth does not provide that. In most cases, quite the opposite. Well, I'm going to sate your appetite for the truth. At least insofar as I can provide. See, I don't know where the doctor is. It's kind of built up over the RFID chip here. Gotta take better care of your electronics. They're a very delicate instrument. Why am I scratching it all to hell then? Well, mainly to irritate you. No, of course. I'm not being petty. This is a fake ID. This whole thing that you're carrying, this wallet, is, let's see, 162 Exeter Drive, North Carolina. Doesn't exist. I already looked it up. Fred's Towing and Auto Restoration in Ohio. Why would you have a towing card from another state? AAA car care. Here we go. No address. Really have to work better on your cover. 3 certifications for heavy equipment operation. Here we go. These look real. 10K forklift. Work in construction. So, why does Joe Blow from Kokomo, who works in construction, want to know where the world's most infamous underground doctor went? No. Truth. I don't know where your intrepid doctor is. But I do know where you could start looking. Do you like puzzles? Depends on the puzzle. Good answer. These are locks. Seemingly obscure, very well worn locks. They have stood the test of time and served their purpose. And now they sit collecting dust on my table. I used to train with these back when I first started. Each lock has a story to tell. For instance, this lock here. It served me all the way up from high school through my military career. And through grad school. It's a combination lock. What can you tell me about this lock? No. It's not just a master lock. It's a Model 67 combo lock by master lock. The serial number. What do you notice about the serial number? $1109-2001. It's a rather peculiar number, isn't it? I've had this for 22 years, this lock. Still works. Know the combination by heart. Let's see if it still works. Reset it. A little bit rusty. There we go. These old combo locks are very particular. There's no way to reset the combination from the factory, so you're stuck with it, and you better damn well remember it. I remember it. 22 years with the same lock, you know. Might as well be my straw man number. Social security number. Do you want another combination? What, you weren't watching? Take a guess. Your friend just said it on the phone not 5 minutes ago. 2016-04. No, there's no dash on a lock. Look at the combo yourself. 2016-4. Hmm. 22 years, this lock. Bought it in 10th grade, I think. 9th grade. Tell me, Mr. Bookman, or should I just call you Bookman? believe in fate? Oh, we do control our own destiny. Until we don't. 22 years. Feels like it was yesterday when I first picked this thing up. The school store. Time's a funny thing. It's here and it's... and it's not. What am I gonna do with you? Oh, the knife. Don't mind me, it's a nervous tick. Oh, Bookman. Everything that you've told me so far leads me to believe that you will most likely walk out of this building alive. Well, maybe not walk. OPSEC and all. You understand OPSEC, don't you? You don't think I didn't notice? Once a soldier, always a soldier. How long were you in? Wow. That long, huh? Could have retired. Why'd you only do 15 and get out? Conflict of interest. What is your interest, Mr. Bookman? What is your interest in the truth? What will that get you? Share it. Are you a journalist? This isn't the kind of information that you get to openly share with the world. If you try to take this to the press, you will either be labeled a conspiracy kook, like yours truly, or you'll be blackbagged and thrown into a windowless van, never to be seen again. Probably wind up sporting a fresh pair of concrete boots at the bottom of the Hudson River. You should leave New York. Forget about Chris. Forget about the Dreadmen. You're what, 30? $36? Got the whole rest of your life ahead of you. But you've got that look in your eye. I'm not gonna dissuade you, am I? Don't act surprised. You already knew his name was Chris. The only way you could have known about him in the first place was if you'd heard the transmissions. My interest is... well, I guess I want to know the most obvious question. Where did you hear them? Right. I didn't realize the bandwidth had gotten powerful over the last few months. Self-replicating program seems to have evolved. The current hardware. Interesting. How did you find out about me? Source. I know you might get the impression that I have a lot of patience by my demeanor, but I do have some thumb screws around here somewhere. Should I start looking for them? Freaker? How did you know that name? Another source, of course. It was a source, of course, of course. And the source's name? Server. I haven't seen Steve in... oh, God. It's a week before the towers fell. That was quite some time ago, though. 15 years. To be precise. That's interesting. You enlisted right after The Twin Towers collapsed. Well, you're not the only one. Imagine a lot of young men and women felt the same patriotic surge of anguish that you did. I noticed the equipment that you brought with you. Let me see that. This was on you. Took a bit of a bang when you fell over. Sorry about that. Looks expensive. Interesting. Take it you reached the same conclusion that I did about the Dreadmen. They are capable of more than just receiving signals. They can actually transmit them. And you thought with my affiliation with Steve and the good doctor that maybe I was one of them. Is that right? Sorry to disappoint you. I'm just a man who needed to disappear, I'm afraid. Nice fixed blade you have here. Always preferred a fixed blade to a folder. Even a tactical or an auto folder. All you need to do is pull it out of the sheath and it's ready to go. "15 years of military service. Imagine if I hadn't gotten the drop on you, you might have gifted me with a few extra breathing holes in new areas. Am I right? Oh, of course you're not trying to kill me. I know that. Still, you brought a knife. Good to be prepared, but combat knife. You were expecting trouble. We're smart enough not to carry. Even concealed draws too much attention in the city. Just in case you got stopped. Skulking around in the back alleys. Smart. Gun legislation in this area is among the strictest in this country. Why do you think the crime rate's so high? Always comes back to the numbers, doesn't it? You know what? Interrogation is it's a two-way street. See? I ask you a question and you provide an answer. May not be the answer that I'm looking for. The question that I'm asking might not even be the question that I want an answer to. It might just lead me to that answer. There's an art to interrogation. It's more about understanding. Compassion. Empathy. Then subjugation or subterfuge or instilling fear. Sure, those things have their place, but should only be used as a last resort, not the go-to. Mind if I tighten those wrist binds? I do hope you understand to take extra precautions with that rather impressive looking prosthetic arm that you have. I must say, I've never seen anything quite like it. Did you know the people that you're looking for they're going to be a lot more interested in you than you are in them. Does that synthetic alloy run your entire skeletal structure? No, you don't have to answer that. I'm sure I already know the answer. I loosened them. I lied. No, I'm not gonna let you go yet. You know what this is? I'll tell you what. If you can tell me what this is, I'll let you go. Curious little thing, isn't it? Some type of metal. No. You don't know what it is? Neither do I. Some questions don't have answers. Sometimes the question itself is more important than the answer. Maybe this particular question doesn't have an answer for me. I'm gonna put this in your front left pocket. Take care of it for me. Might come in handy, who knows? Well, I think we've both taken up enough of each other's time. And I'm pretty sure you're not a threat. At least not right now. Time will tell. What will you do with the truth once you have it? Will you stay true to your word? Bring it to the people? Even at the expense of your own life? Will you balk at the horror of that truth? You're not far. You're not far from it. From that answer that you seek. I didn't always used to be this way. I'm not a proud man. I've done some terrible things. What they did to those soldiers at Fisher's Island. Let the science run out ahead of us. Had a morality. Created monsters. That's what we get for playing God. You want answers? Brickyard Road. There's a cul-de-sac hidden away. It's a gated community. Was a gated community. It's condemned now. Well, it was very nice to meet you, Mr. Bookman, but now I have one final question for you. And, hope you won't take it the wrong way, but just a safety precaution. I'm sure you'll understand. Do you have any allergies to chloroform? No? Good.